Now, let's take back to history. The same thing happened in the United States when Obama took over from George Bush. America was not in recession, but the economy was sliding down. And as soon as Obama took over, America went into recession. By 2014 election, Obama struggled to win that, because it's 2012 election. He struggled to win that election. The challenge then was economy. Eventually, Obama turned the economy around. Now, this government inherited an economy that was sloping down. The mistake, and the acting president, we have made our mistakes and we have learned our lesson. The mistake the government made was not to tell Nigerians at the first October 1 speech, assuming it was not possible on May 29, October 1 speech, they should have told Nigerians, this is the state of the nation.
Let me quickly remind you quickly of this fact, and the fact is this. In May, when this government got into office, for another 2 quarters, there were no persons on the ground to administer the economy of this nation. It took this government 6 months plus to set up a cabinet. It doesn't look like the government was really ready for governance.
I just mentioned it. The vice president, for that period you mentioned, was in charge of the economy. I was once in government. That you don't have ministers or whatever does not mean there was nobody in government. The central bank governor was there. The accountant general of the federation was there. The auditor general of the federation was there. All the PAMSECs were in government, and the vice president was coordinating the economy. Now, let's come to, assuming for that 6 months, there was nobody there. Does that, the man said, the acting president said, we have learned from our mistake. Let's go to what has happened now. In the last 2 years, you have seen the transformation. By next quarter, the economy will get out of recession. So going into recession, let me just correct it. A nation going into recession is not the same thing as the prices of food in the market in most cases. It's one of the things you will see. Right. But when a nation goes into recession, what government does is to get out of recession. Now the last shrink was 0.51, which was different from the previous ones of 2 point something. So what you see is that this government has now worked it out, and the economy is getting out of recession. And by the time, the next 2 years, the acting president mentioned what this government will do and will take. And I believe by the 3rd year, if this government had not been able to do what it has promised, go to job creation, this government had created more jobs than any other government.
Not temporary jobs.
No.
Staggered jobs. Just a moment, because those jobs that you're talking about, the empower jobs, those are not permanent jobs. These are temporary jobs.
I gave you an example of 1989. Okay, so when you want to get out of...
Because let's make it a robust conversation. Okay. I'll just throw this question, just a moment. I'll just throw this same question to my guests in Abuja. Should Nigerians take the excuse of this government, especially as the acting president has put it in his speech, that the challenges are there, they've made the mistakes, but one will wonder, the time is really not there. 2 years and you say you're making such a mistake, the economy is in recession. Do you think those excuses are admissible to Nigerians, a lot of them who are suffering right now? Just in brief words, let me start with you, Mr. Atobo.
First and foremost, we must appreciate that the fact that the excuse given by the government about the job creation, they are not tenable. And if you look, even the states is even in a precarious situation than the federal. And the role of the federal government is to create an institutional framework that will ease of doing business. You look at Nigeria for some time, have been living on rent-seeking mentality. We are profit from this corruption bag that you see. A lot of people don't work before they make a lot of money. Look at the revelation that have come out from the investigation of this armed deal. You need an XYZ amount of money. They will not give you a note and you release 1 billion and all those things. That give us a fake lifestyle as if we're a prosperous nation. Whereas we're just living on the mercy of corrupt practice. Apart from that, if you look at like a banking sector, if you don't have much deposit or you don't have any money that is coming, there's no way you can launch into a bank. But look at those people that are making deposits. These are people that come from...
Let me allow Mr. Inya to quickly react to the same question. Is the excuse given today admissible to Nigerians, some of whom don't have jobs, some of whom are hungry right now, just as the PDP had put it?
In the first instance, I think that the APC, they are the victims of their own doing or undoing. And they have to take full responsibility for it. Coming to tell Nigerians stories is not really what we're looking for. I believe that at a time like this, the first thing that the APC should do is suspend politics. Now, that does not sound practical, but the question is, what do you want? Do you want to play politics and be in power, or do you want to serve the people based on the essence of governance, which is the greatest good to the greatest number, based on what the Constitution says, which says that the security and the welfare of the people shall be the primary objective of every government. This is the time that we must evoke an emergency and form what you call the National Rescue Team. Okay. This is the time when we must blow all lines of divides, political, ethnic, religious, and bring the very best that we have into the team and say, okay, gentlemen, there's an emergency. What can we do right now?
Another good time to take a break.
We don't want to hear stories. Set up an emergency rescue team,
okay,
and get us out of the mess we are in right now, and let our sons and daughters have work to do and food to eat.
Mr. Nyetok, we'll take another break, but when we return, on my panel here, we'll have some of the last minutes on the program to weigh in on some of the issues looking ahead in the next 2 years of this government. What do you make of all of these issues? Join the conversation online. We'll be right back. Stay with us.